Good evening to you one and all. Hope everybody's had themselves a wonderful Wednesday evening. Hello, 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 and welcome to StreamerSquare, the workshop series. My name is Shadow Temple. I have been doing workshops here for the past couple of weeks, just talking about various topics, especially as they pertain to Twitch. Twitch streaming, kind of exploring the platform and all it can do for you, and where the next steps that you can take as you kind of continue in your journey, either as a viewer or as a broadcaster. Today's plan has to do with being an affiliate, how to, of course, reach being an affiliate, and then what to do once you do, right? What does it actually entail? What sort of things do you need to get done as soon as you hit those achievements? And what awaits beyond? I've done 2 workshops so far in the past. If you're like coming into this and you're like, I'm not quite sure what's going on, I've done 2 workshops previously. One that has to deal with Twitch itself and what the platform is and what it can do for you, as well as on the very other end of the spectrum, how to become a partner on Twitch. I just realized, though, as I was finishing up those 2 workshops, that there really wasn't anything in the middle between those 2 things, which is, of course, the affiliate program that many of you might already be familiar with. How this workshop is going to play out is that a chunk of the very start of this workshop is going to be dealing with what affiliate is, what it isn't, as well as discussing how to achieve that point. If you're trying to get up to that point, this information is going to be very useful to you. If you've already achieved affiliateness, worry not. We will be talking plenty about what to do once you get there and what sort of things you need to make sure that you are keeping on top of and keeping track of as you go along. Now, the nice part about doing these, as opposed to, just having a recorded video or something, well, maybe you're watching this as a recording later, in which case, apologies. But this is a live workshop, right? We're streaming this live on Twitch right now on twitch.tv/StreamerSquare, which means that we can have ourselves a bit of a live forum. If you have any questions about the affiliate program or about Twitch or about streaming or anything that we kind of touch upon, brush upon, or otherwise kind of breathe upon, be sure to check it out, or be sure to ask those questions in the chat. And I will be keeping an eye out like a drunken hawk and hope that I see it as we go along. All right. So before we begin talking about affiliate, as the narcissist as I am, should talk a little bit about myself so that we understand where we're kind of going with this. It would also help if I actually started my presentation as opposed to just showing you the preview like a little noob. So, Twitch affiliate, a primer with Shadow Temple. A little bit of background about myself before we truly get started on this. I've been streaming on Twitch since about 2014. I kind of dabbled here and there a little bit before that, back when it was in Justin TV as well. But I really got serious about it and pretty much stream nightly for about 6 years now. I was part of the affiliate program once literally the first step, actually. The affiliate program came out in April 24th of 2017, and I was actually in the first wave of that. I then became partnered on Twitch back in 2018, just about a year later after I got after the affiliate program started. Most of my stuff involves kind of the vague term of variety content, but that really kind of focuses on mostly things that I can do voice acting for. When I'm not streaming, I am teaching, I am voice acting, I am hosting various events, not as much as I used to, can't get out a whole lot. And Minecraft YouTubing, because that's a thing I do now. So yeah, I've been, in a long story short, I've been a part of the I've been a part of the Twitch community for a very long time. I have explored and experienced a lot of these things. I have succeeded and failed in so many ways over the years that I want to try to help you guys avoid the failures that I did, or at least experience a mild form of them. Inoculate yourself from those failures, if you will. And also, of course, try to lean towards those successes that I found as I pushed along throughout all of this. And again, if you have any questions as we go along, please do so. If you have any questions about my background or anything like that, you can hit it up as well. So yeah, let's go back to mid-April 2017. Twitch, before this point, had pretty much two categories of broadcasters on the platform. Of course, you could stream on for free on Twitch at any time. You just had to make yourself an account, and you can still do that today. But there was really only two things that, or two kind of statuses that an account could have. Either you were just a standard Twitch account, which just had its standard record or streaming capabilities, and you could keep a few of the videos on there, and of course have your own chat. But that was about all you had. Alternatively, of course, you had the partner program, where if you achieved a certain amount of viewership, much more than even the current partner program otherwise sets, then you can get yourself a subscription button where you people could pay monthly in order to get emotes and things out of your channel. The affiliate program was introduced then, I believe, at the TwitchCon 2016, and then actually rolled out at the start of midway through 2017 to give something in between for those who may stream, to the dozens of viewers instead of hundreds, with the expectation and the power to allow you as a streamer to gain revenue from the things that you do beyond just third-party kind of sources, right? So let's talk about what this whole affiliate thing is. Twitch, of course, for those unaware, if you've somehow wandered in here and you're like, oh God, where's there's a box of words moving over here and a screen over here, and what is all this? Twitch is a live streaming platform at its heart, right? You as a person currently watching this, most likely has an account that you can actually either chat on the side with, or you can use it to broadcast yourself. And you can broadcast your games, you can broadcast cooking, cleaning, punching things, I guess. I don't know why punching came up immediately after cooking, cleaning, and regardless, you can do a lot of things on Twitch, and it's pretty fun. And there's a wide variety of content that you can also explore, both as a viewer and as a broadcaster. When it comes to being a broadcaster on the platform, there are three main areas you can be these days, right? Like I said, you can be the kind of the standard news streamer. There's not really a technical name for a non-affiliate, non-partner. They kind of swap between regular, community, and new, which is to say there's just no additional fancy things attached. Instead, it is all just whatever you got when you start up your account. The affiliate program then is a program where if you meet certain metrics on your channel, you then have access to new capabilities, new features on Twitch that you didn't have access to before as a new streamer. And then once you eventually work your way up past affiliate, you can eventually then reach kind of the ultimate, at least public point on your channel, which is partner. Again, if you want to learn more about the partner program, I did an entire setup about the Twitch partner program that you can check out a previous workshop for. I believe it's both on the YouTube channel and saved as a VOD on this channel as well. So why should you care about becoming an affiliate, right? So yeah, okay, you get some new stuff if you become an affiliate on Twitch, great. But what does that actually mean, right? Well, the biggest thing that it really set up back when it was first introduced was, again, this idea of being able to monetize your content. So before that, of course, once again, you pretty much, unless you had like a PayPal link or one of the very early sort of alert systems prior to the affiliate program, you were pretty much just out of luck in terms of trying to monetize your stuff, especially on platform. The Twitch affiliate program fixed that by allowing pretty much every broadcaster that really seriously streams the ability to collect subscriptions from viewers, to collect bits from viewers, and to run advertisements more recently, as of more recently, on your channel. And we'll talk about what each of those three mean and what to expect if you do become an affiliate, of what you'll get from each of those things. But those are different options for a broadcaster to earn revenue on their channel as a result. You can see there's slight differences between the affiliate and the partner, and we'll talk more things about like the cheer motes and sub emotes and things like that a little bit later. But this is just kind of a 1,000-foot view. Other things involved. This is actually a really important one here, and why, if you're on the fence about becoming an affiliate as opposed to being a regular just new streamer, because you do technically have an option. Transcoding is an extremely powerful tool on Twitch. Partners are the only ones who are guaranteed it. Affiliates are almost guaranteed it in the sense that they get priority access over the rest of the crowd. What transcoding does, for those unaware, is if you go down to the bottom of this stream right now, you should see a little cog that you can use to change what sort of resolution you have on the stream. Hopefully you're watching it at the highest resolution so you can see the fact that I didn't shave in time for the stream today. Sorry. But if you are running on a regular channel, there's a pretty good chance you don't have that cog, which means that whatever stream that you are watching, whatever stream that the broadcaster is sending out, the viewers have to watch it themselves. Now, it doesn't sound so bad, but if you are streaming at a very high bit rate, a very high resolution, and someone is trying to watch that on their terrible Wi-Fi at home or like on a cell phone as they're commuting to work or something like that, they're going to have a hard time keeping up with your broadcast. Of course, you want to have the highest quality content that you can provide, but if nobody can watch it, is there really a point to broadcasting in the first place? And so by becoming an affiliate, you get yourself a much greater chance of earning that transcoding right, which is a really powerful thing. Transcoding is locked to certain servers, and it is given out on a first-come, first-served basis with only guaranteed reserve slots for partners. I spent a lot of time on that, but that's a really important thing when it comes to becoming an affiliate. Squad streaming, you don't get it just only because you do need guaranteed transcode access for that. We're not going to worry about that too much. If for whatever reason you decide that you want to have a stream that is for your subscribers only, since you have a subscription model on your channel, you also can provide subscriber-only streams. You only get 14 days of VOD storage unless you go for Twitch Turbo, which is an entire monthly payment system that you can do to get an extended VOD storage back over to the partner side on the right side there. I should mention, by the way, since this was the only page that actually had the affiliate kind of moniker on this table, just keep looking at that middle line here when it comes to looking for this or what exactly you're getting as an affiliate. Other things too, reruns and premieres. Some people like to upload videos onto their Twitch channels. Let's say you made like a music video, or you really wanted to kind of have some, or you wanted to re-show some of your previous best streams on your channel. Those are available to you as an affiliate. They're not available to you as a new streamer. I suspect that Twitch had too many people loading up gigabytes and terabytes of content onto a dead Twitch channel, and they wanted to at least have some way of making money off of it. So they introduced the ability that only affiliates and partners are allowed to load things onto their channels or rebroadcast things from previous times. Other things here, when it comes to having payments, and you getting paid from the revenue that you earn on Twitch, it's pretty close to what partners deal with these days. You have chargeback protection when it comes to bits. Payment happens on a net 15-day time frame, which we'll talk more a little bit later. And the payout fees, whenever you have like your money transferred from Twitch to whatever sort of payout service that you use, you will have to pay for the fee yourself. Partners, it is covered by Twitch instead. So there's just kind of the basic kind of 10,000 foot view sort of opinion on what sort of features an affiliate gets versus a regular streamer, and then of course versus a partner. And to your point, as told by Dylan, that's actually a reason why I think, or at least personally as a broadcaster, I like bits, is that chargeback protection really does give you a peace of mind, right? When you see bits or cheered across your channel, you know that money is going to you and it's not going away. And that's really nice. And it's all because the bits have to be purchased in advance before someone cheers them towards you, which I certainly appreciate, as opposed to people giving you tips, which could be then charged back, thus forcing the streamer to, of course, both pay back the tip that they received and usually also a surcharge for such things. It's true, though. It doesn't always necessarily protect you if someone tries to game the system. When someone tries to give you game the system to get more ad bits, which I'll talk a little bit more about later, or if they try to game Twitch Prime, which we'll also talk a little bit about later, that will kind of blow back. But usually, a vast majority of the time, you're staying pretty safe. Just kidding. There's another section of this table. There are a few more features here that you also get. Channel points was something that was more recently released to affiliates as well. The idea being that there is a set of currency that you actually see at the bottom of StreamerSquare's chat as well, where you can earn a free kind of loyalty currency for your channel, and then you can use that same currency then to viewers can use that to redeem various different products and fun services that people come up with. As you can see with Morag highlighting their message using 300 of the streamer bucks or whatever this currency is called. Squares. It makes sense. Squares. There you go. Other things that are allowed in there, you get access to the to use in chat or polls, which are pretty nice. You and your moderators are allowed to create polls that pop up in the chat natively, which is super nice. You also once you have been an affiliate for a while, I think at least 60 days of broadcasting, and you are in good terms with the with Twitch terms of service on your channel, you actually also get to have your emotes pop up immediately as soon as you upload them. We'll talk a little bit more about the upload process for emotes and badges and things like that later on, but just know that eventually you can just get them loading in as opposed to having them manually approved, which is pretty nice. Pretty much nothing else that comes up for affiliate when it comes to actual factual pieces inside of Twitch, but it is a pretty handy thing. All right, so let's keep moving along. I've spent enough time here. Other things, though, outside of Twitch itself is that, you know, when you become an affiliate, you do have to sign a contract. You are a contracted independent contractor through Twitch, and you have to keep in mind of that, right? It isn't always necessarily a good thing. It's not necessarily a bad thing either. It's just something that you really have to start thinking about beyond just like the Twitch terms of service and not just being a terrible person. You also, of course, the biggest thing again is just, and I can't stress this enough, as someone who streamed a lot before affiliate became a thing, you just don't have to depend on third-party sites for revenue. Viewers seem to be a lot more inclined to be more excited about giving you support if you are, if they can give it to you on the same platform that you're streaming on. And by having that ability, it is super fantastic. It also provides a bit of a, let's say, an intangible social / networking status. People are going to be a lot more willing to work with you if you are if you can prove that you have kind of streamed before. An affiliate, and being an affiliate is, excuse me, sort of that badge of honor for showing off that, like, yeah, I'm pretty serious about this. I've streamed once or twice before. I have some people have watched me for longer periods of time than just me starting up, and that can mean a lot for people who you might want to collaborate with in the future. It is a stepping stone towards greater social statuses later on, of course, when it comes to Twitch, but it is a pretty powerful spot on that as well. I mean, I'm not even sure if it's necessarily sneaky. That's just a straight up Triforce there, isn't it? Also, for some reason, TwitchCon 2017, they gave me 2. I don't know why. If you're an affiliate, can you multi-stream on YouTube and not Mixer? Only if you are not streaming on Twitch simultaneously. And we'll talk actually a bit more about the affiliate contract later on. But the answer is effectively that if you're streaming on Twitch, you can only stream on Twitch while you are contracted through the affiliate contract. Good question, though, Conning Dolphin. Absolutely. So, we talked about what affiliate is. Let's talk also about what affiliate isn't. Yes, and the 24-hour restriction, I have like a whole slide about it because people are like, wait a minute, what? We'll definitely talk about that in the near future too. So what is an affiliate? Number one, a job. When you sign up again as a Twitch affiliate, you become an independent contractor under Twitch and or Amazon. And that isn't necessarily mean that you suddenly have a career in this, right? You just have the ability to earn revenue. It's like putting up a tip jar next to you as you start playing your guitar on the street, right? There's a chance that you're going to make a lot of money that way, but you still have to. It still has to be you pushing ahead to try to make that happen, right? Nor is affiliate a guaranteed success or income stream for you or your channel. Just because you suddenly become an affiliate, you might actually sometimes, when you do become an affiliate, you sometimes see maybe a little bit of a boost because your viewers will be like, yay, you know, such and such got an affiliate, congratulations. And they're super excited. Maybe you have a little party. And that'll give you a little kind of honeymoon period. But for the most part, you'll go right back to where you were. And you just have to keep pressing on forward, right? It is by no means the apex of your streaming adventure. It is more really just the start, if we're being perfectly honest. It is something that you should strive to hit relatively early and then just keep on working past that, right? And nor is it at the end of the hard work, as I mentioned, and or a simple process. There are a lot of things that go into this, that go into becoming an affiliate, both the onboarding process and then also keeping track of all the things that happen as a result of you being an affiliate that you do need to keep track of under penalty of law and things like that. Yeah, that's right. Streaming can take you to jail. Woo! Anyway, We'll talk about that a little bit later on anyway. So before we get into how to become an affiliate and what the sort of steps you have to take once you do earn like the ability to do so, are there any questions that we haven't hit upon so far? And if you ask a question and I don't have the answer for it, like, and I have the answer later on, I'll tell you as such. But I will try my best to otherwise answer the questions before that. Let me take a little sip of tea. I have no tea. It's only water today. And then we'll move on from there. Anyway, so, excuse me. I never changed this. Excuse me. This is why I need to hire an editor and then fire them. There we go. So how to affiliate, right? Not how to partner. It even says affiliate right there. How to affiliate. So if you are a broadcaster on Twitch and you haven't had an opportunity to, if you have an opportunity to necessarily look through exactly how becoming an affiliate happens, there is an entire achievement system built into Twitch. That system involves going through and they're kind of little milestones on your channel that you can earn that for the most part don't mean a ton, other than just those are things that you might want to shoot for in order to continue your growth. The path to the affiliate is kind of the first major milestone of a channel, and actually contains a set of smaller achievements to try to hit. Right? The following that you see on the screen here are the things that you need to achieve in order to qualify to become an affiliate on Twitch. The first one is reach 50 followers. That can happen at any time, and you just need to make sure that you get up to 50 and stay at 50 or more before continuing onward. The rest of them then are judged based on a 30-day rolling window, but behind the present day. So if you we're looking to see if you qualify for affiliate right now, you would look at your stats from today all the way till about early to mid July. And based on that information, you would find out whether or not you hit those various milestones. Things such as streaming for 8 hours. You need to make sure within a 30-day period you are streaming for at least 8 hours each time. Other things include, and give me just 1 second here. Other things include making sure you stream those 8 hours over the course of 7 different days. That means that you don't have to stream in like 1 week, certainly, and you don't have to stream every day in that week, but you do need to make sure that you are spreading out those streams throughout that time. For example, for myself, I streamed every day. So hitting that particular achievement was not very difficult. But for some of you, you may only stream once a week or twice a week. In which case, if you're going for that particular affiliate push, you may have to try to plan to spread out a few more streams throughout that particular month as you're trying to make that happen. You also, and this is the one that catches people the most, is you need to hit an average of 3 viewers. That is, for someone just starting off, I totally get it. It's a tough thing to hit because frequent times, especially at the beginning of your stream, you got maybe 1, and it's you. You're the one watching your own stream. And convincing people to get into your stream at the very beginning is extremely difficult to do, right? And we'll discuss how to help you kind of get there in order to push it off. The nice part about getting to affiliate, though, is that things like hosts, like raids, like embedded views, things like that are all allowed. Yes, I was just actually going to answer that, Cutting Dolphin. In my partner workshop, I mentioned the fact that Twitch actually excludes certain types of viewership away from the qualification number for partner, which is 75. That one's pretty tough to hit because you can't take viewers from hosts, which is when another broadcaster or another channel decides to put your channel on their channel to give yourself a little boost, or raids when people send your viewership over to your channel. Things like that aren't necessarily counted in the partner achievement set. Things like that, however, are absolutely counted in the affiliate set. So if you're working with other broadcasters and you happen to know other streamers, host each other, right? Support each other in that sense. Don't be like, hey, host for host, because that's kind of a little silly. But just be a good neighbor on Twitch, and you can find people who will help you in that sense, right? That's true. Just get rid of the refer raid, and then they'll never know. They'll never know. Fun fact: when I actually got partnered, I would ask people who are going to raid me, just post the link in chat. Do the old school method. It's fine. It's fine. And yes, you of course can't steal other people's viewers, of course, but you know what? You can still have. Yes, the hosting, I should also mention, happens when channels are offline, not typically online. So that's a different way to do it, right? But yeah, hit these various values within the past 30 days, and you are going to be qualified for it. It's an automatic process. Twitch doesn't like send you an application or anything like that. Then they then have to review to make sure that you're good for that. Just based on your merits, other things will do that. But yeah, the check mark, not the dreaded check mark in chat. You're just here because you want to steal my viewers because you're verified and I'm not. Except also this channel is verified and so am I. Yeah. A very sad dog in the other room. Pardon me. Okay, so let's say you've been going through those achievements. Maybe you've been streaming for a while and you're trying to figure out what's going on, but you're not quite sure how to hit those marks. Maybe you got 3 viewers, but maybe you can't hit 50 followers. Maybe vice versa. You've got all the followers you need, but you can't. You're having a hard time hitting that 3 viewer mark, right? The first thing you really need to focus on, and I discussed this at length with the partner workshop as well, but a lot of these same things still apply. Find ways for people to find your content. This sounds really silly and really simple. It's like, yeah, duh, I'm trying that. Why? Help. The biggest mistake that I see new streamers do when it comes to this particular step is they assume that this can all be done on Twitch. And the answer is, while Twitch's own algorithms for finding newer streamers are getting better, it's still not perfect. And it's something you do need to focus on as you are trying to grow as a streamer. Can we also please address this hashtag support small streamers thing? We certainly can. You do need to expand beyond your own kind of 4 walls of your own particular channel. If you try to stream on a particular directory, for example, let's say you play a game that's incredibly popular, then there's a situation where that's you're not going to be found amongst everybody else, right? And that's kind of a bit of an issue. So you do need to find other ways to be found, whether it be being on social media, making sure that you are posting. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but I don't like social media. I don't like Twitter. I don't like Instagram. You don't like TikTok, but you know what? You might have to worry about that after a while. Those are places where the algorithm works a little bit differently, and it's a little bit more rewarding to people who are willing to play kind of the hashtag game and keep track of things and provide regular content there, and those can bring people up towards that way. With that, as been requested as told by Dylan here, there are some traps out there in social media land when it comes to trying to find support for your quote unquote small stream. If you see tags or accounts on Twitter, on Instagram, and places like that that are like hashtag support small streamers or hashtag support under 5 viewers or things of that nature, those ideas of like small streamers banding together to try to support each other is a noble thought, right? If we, rising tide raises all ships, and if we all just work together, we'll make this happen. But in practice, what a lot of those communities do is they pretty much just collect followers from people who are very desperate to collect attention without necessarily putting a lot of work into it. What I mean by that, and this is an insult to yourself if you have done this yourself, but nobody is looking at that hashtag to find news channels to watch. The only people who are looking at that hashtag are people who are trying to find viewers to watch their stuff, if that makes sense. And that's a problem, right? If you are, if the hashtag for finding or for supporting smaller streamers is only used by the streamers who want support and no supporters, then it doesn't do a whole lot, right? And that's not so good, right? You have to think about, as a viewer, who is going to find, or how are they going to find something that they want to watch? And if you think that they are going to be like, support smaller streamers today. I'm going to go to my local mom and pop shop, local co-op, and make sure that I collect the. They're not going to do that on Twitch. They just aren't. Like they might find some small streamer that they really enjoy, but they're going to do that more organically or find your channel via other means, whether it be maybe a fun or viral clip that you had going on, maybe a good post here and there. Maybe you used a hashtag for a game that they really enjoy that maybe is a little bit more niche than your average streamer. Those things can be really handy for that. And so it's a really good idea to kind of think about how you would want to go about finding a new channel to watch and where that would actually take you. Given the fact that 3 viewers in the grand scheme of things is not incredibly big, invite your friends and family. I know that might sound a little cringe, but your friends and family want to support you, right? And if they know you're trying to take this seriously and you're enjoying yourself and they love seeing what you do and you just want to have a good time, as long as you're being nice about it and you're not being too pushy, have them come in, say hello, make your mom an account and let her watch you. Was a mistake that I made 2 years ago and I still haven't outlived it. But it's an important step, especially if you're trying to hit that 3 viewer mark. Once you get affiliate, as long as you keep streaming, they're not going to take it away from you. Might as well try to get it up there with a couple of friends. And as how the Twitch algorithms work, the more viewers you have, the better chance that people are going to find you. And so if you can build yourself a nice little base to start, you're going to have a little bit easier time trying to build up from there, if that makes sense. Otherwise, yep, be persistent and engaging on social media. If people if people expect fun stuff from you, they're going to keep checking out your stuff on social media. If you don't post frequently, they're probably not going to pay attention as much. So just make sure you try to throw stuff out there, right? It doesn't have to always be grade A content. Just make sure you're putting something out there other than, hey guys, I'm going live. Here we go. And then that's your entire feed of social media, right? Toss other things out there. Be personal. Get a little bit of it. Get a little bit of vulnerability out there. Ask questions. Post fun pictures. Just be a person on social media and let people in. Let people feel like they're a part of something. Otherwise, collaborate with other streamers of your size. If you are playing, especially like an incredibly niche game, like let's say you're a big fan of Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, like I for some reason am, and you were like, oh man, there are like only 4 other people that stream this game, and a lot of them don't get a ton of viewers, but they get some. If people are going to this niche game and they're trying to find streamers that do this, you can support each other by rating each other with like interests and things like that. That can be a really powerful tool. By allowing each other to kind of network and connect with each other, you are sharing the wealth in its own way, in that these viewers that are interested in your content are going to be also interested in some similar content. And then hopefully in return, you receive that sort of support in exchange. In the time that I've been streaming, I have never been disappointed from rating somebody that I at least checked out beforehand. That's an extremely important, I know sometimes people feel like, well, if I share my viewership, then people will go away and they'll stop coming to my channel. But if you try to just hide, if you just try to hide in your own corner and you don't try to work with other streamers, it's going to be very difficult to kind of expand outward. Talk to people, get in people's streams and kind of learn who they are. And if you like what they do, then give them support where you can. You would not believe how many friends I've made on Twitch by just rating channels that I knew a little bit. And then they raid me back, and then I meet them at TwitchCon, and then like, I don't know, I get jobs later as a result of that. It's a great feeling. And it really works out really well as long as you're willing to kind of put yourself out there. And if you don't get anything back, then you just move on. It's not a big deal. Speaking of niche, trying to find things that are unique, right? Trying to find ideas that are, I know when on a broadcasting platform where there are 2 million or monthly broadcasters, it's tough to find things that people haven't done before. But you don't have to necessarily do something entirely new, just something that not everyone is doing. And so if you can find your way out of the kind of top games, if you can find your way out of like just chatting on its own or things like that, you can find yourself a little bit of a smaller space. It means that there's a smaller pool for viewers to pull from if they want to see that particular bit of content. And as a result, you have a much better chance of being found during those times, especially when you're first starting off. You always go follow people who are ready to the channel you're always watching. Yeah. Actually, whenever I certainly whenever I got rated, I even just, every time someone followed me, I'd check to see if they were a broadcaster as well. And if they followed me, I would follow them back. And maybe I'd go and raid them later. And then they seem to be really excited about it. They're like, I watched you earlier and now you're here. That's kind of cool. And then I've made a lot of friends that way, right? Back when Twitch sent an email for every follower you got, at least. I don't know if they do that for all channels anymore, but they don't do it for mine anymore. And the last thing is, like, and I mentioned this too in the previous one, be willing to say yes to stuff. If someone's like, after you do your research, of course, after you do your research, be willing to say yes to stuff that may put you a little bit out of your comfort zone if you think it's going to be fun and kind of, or maybe like charity work or things of that nature. It's amazing what sort of doors open up to you if you are more willing to kind of put yourself out there. The number of weird things that I've done on Twitch is something that if you told me that I was doing that 4 or 5 years ago, I would think what happened to the shadow of today. But those sort of things really do pile up, right? And if you're not getting those opportunities, try to make those opportunities. One thing that I like to do is put together a couple of streamers and play a tabletop game together on stream. That can be a lot of fun. You meet a lot of people that way. You kind of get to know them as you talk your way through like a little one-shot or things of that nature, or just invite people to play other games with you. It's a lot of fun to kind of build up those little collaborative opportunities. Or if you're going to like a community meetup when those exist again, that's a really fun way to kind of get involved too in talking to people and figuring out what sort of things that other people do as well. So these are the ways that people for people to find your content. I know you probably have seen these things before and you're like, but they aren't working. You got to be consistent. You got to keep doing these things. This is a revolving door. This is a revolving set of a list of things that as you go down, you go back up to the top again and you keep working your way through it. Okay. And you just want to keep building up as you go. Then after you kind of find ways for people to find your stuff, of course, the next thing is how to make sure that they stick around. And so as you're broadcasting, of course, as you're having things happening, be personable, right? Unless you are a pro-elite streamer with all the best stuff, use some crazy glue to their seats and then they cannot leave. Ha! Got them. No. But unless they're coming for an extremely interesting or extremely exclusive content on your channel, they're coming for you. They're going to your channel to watch your channel to see what you do with the content that you have. And as a result, you need to be that person that they are interested in. Part of that means that you need to talk. You really need to talk. I know you've heard this before, but seriously, guys, I walk into so many channels where it'll be, people will be sitting around playing a video game. They'll be playing their FPS and it'll be, well, that was weak. Oh, hey, someone said hi on my channel 5 minutes ago. What happened? And it's one of those things where if you are leaving those spaces open, it is not fantastic. All right. You want to make sure that there is content there, right? I know it was scary, right? You heard that silence there. I used to do radio before I did online broadcasting, and if I hear more than 2 seconds of silence, that is dead air to me, and that is a terrifying notion. And even doing that for a little bit hurt me inside. Cutscenes, as Ziggy Gamma mentioned, totally understandable. If you're playing a story-based game where there's a cutscene going on, don't interrupt it. Don't try to get in front of it, but do try to commentate on it, right? If it's a particularly poignant moment, for example, I just played through The Last of Us Part 2, and there's some moments where I think it was more powerful for me to not talk. That's a perfectly fine thing to do. Just don't make it a habit of everything else, right? If people wanted to just watch if people just wanted to watch cutscenes in your game, they would just go watch a playthrough on YouTube, right? This is a live format, and they want to hear your live reactions to these things. And to not do so kind of betrays the sort of format, if that makes sense. Be kind of lurkers. Don't if you see your viewer number tick up, but no one's talking in your chat, don't try to talk to them specifically. Just talk. Say things about the game that you're playing. Say things that happened in your day. Talk about what you had for lunch. Like, just fill the space with nonsense, right? Talk to the chat in general. You can ask them questions open-endedly, like, how's your day? What do you feel about broccoli? Should I be using this gun or this gun? And then maybe talk about like what the advantages and disadvantages of that could be. But do not try to say, hello, you came into my channel. Please, I'm so lonely. Because they will not want to talk to you anymore and they will probably leave. Conversely on that, don't wait until that viewer's number ticks up to talk. And I'm saying, I know that sounds kind of contradictory compared to each other, but if you keep talking to people as you go along, even though their people aren't there, when someone rolls into the channel, they feel like they've joined something. When it's dead silence, when they come in, they feel like they're waiting for something. And those are two very different feelings. They want to feel like it's an active place, like it's an inviting place, like it's an energetic place. If there is no sound coming from you or no like action coming from you, then it is a very passive. And again, I'm just going to YouTube now. Bye. See you later. Please. Otherwise, social media, once again, keep banging that drum. Even if you don't do it right now, make yourself an account with all the brand names that you use. All right. I have Shadow Temple pretty much locked down on everything. And those that don't, I'm currently in litigation for. No, that's not true yet. But you really do want to try to pick up those names sooner rather than later. And then as soon as you start kind of getting into a groove, stick with it. And then show your viewers that you care. If someone is repeatedly coming into your channel, keep track of the stuff that they've been telling you. You know, if they've been telling you about how hard their job is, next time they come in, ask them about the job. If it's their birthday, wish them a happy birthday. If they're excited about like an upcoming trip, ask them about the trip before and after. If you need to keep a list of things like a creep, that's okay. Because they're telling you those things and you want to make sure that you remember them, right? There's a little bit of kind of fake friendness in there, but it doesn't have to be fake. Sometimes you keep track of all your friends' birthdays on Facebook and do nothing else with Facebook, right? Same thing with your viewers. You want to make sure you keep track of some of those things so that they feel like they really are at home. Even if you try to remember them yourself, that's fine. But it's sometimes easier to keep track of those things on something physical. And the biggest thing, and I know again, broken record, but be reliable and consistent. People, human beings, the human race they're creatures of habit. They're creatures of ritual and tradition, and they want things to be the same, and they don't like it when things are different. And as a result, you need to make sure that you are someone that they can find, right? If before the really kind of upsurge of the internet, people watch their nightly news, people watch their Tonight shows and whatnot, right? And every night they would hit that up, or their Twitch rituals. They would hit up things like, Wheel of Fortune or things like that. That was the thing that they did when they ate dinner or before they went to bed or while they were eating lunch at work. They had this thing that they did. Become that thing that person does. For me, I stream it every night at 9 p.m. Eastern, except the past couple days, but that's beside the point. But as a result, over the course of 6 years, people have understood that that's when I'm going to stream, and that's when they should expect me to be live. And I'm consistent about consistency, right? I'm very consistently late. Is what I am. That's what Cunning Dolphin is alluding to. But as long as people can reliably find you in that same spot, they're going to be more inclined to come back. Doesn't mean they will. Just means that they're like, oh yeah, good old Shadow is definitely going to be live at this time. And if even if all else falls apart and nothing else works, I still have this ability to go back there and watch that, and that feels good for viewers. I know it's not always fun. You may not always want to stream, especially if you're trying to keep that schedule. Be like, oh, I had a long day at work and it's not good. One thing I always recommend, go live first. Hit that live button. Try it for a bit. Give it a half hour. If you're not feeling it after that half hour, stop. It's okay. Just tell the viewers, sorry, I'm really exhausted tonight. I'll try this again next time. And you just want to get back up on that horse later. If you don't go live, then there was no chance of that working, right? Kind of you'll miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Mental health days are certainly important, and you want to make sure that you are taking the breaks that you need in that. But it's amazing how many times where I have not felt like streaming. I went live and I sat down and I started talking. And as soon as I did, I felt so much better. Like I just got into the groove of things and I felt a lot better as a result. Even if I had to cut the stream short later, maybe I like felt great for like an hour or two. And then I was like, oh, and then I kind of passed out by the end. Then I'll just cut down the stream early. But at least I had a good hour or two beforehand, right? It does feel pretty good. It is something you kind of want to focus on if you can, though. So if you're going through all that and you're like, well, I'm still, just not quite getting that 3 viewers or that 50 followers, and it's just tough, man. I just can't quite get there. It's okay to not be an affiliate on Twitch. I want to lead with that before we get into any of the other nitty-gritty stuff. It's okay to not hit these milestones or to get to partner on Twitch and things like that. Do what works for you. And if you can't like put in the additional time or the reviewing and you just want to have some fun playing some video games and maybe people watch, it's okay to not have to shoot for these things. There are advantages to not being an affiliate, and we'll talk about those a little bit later. But I personally am based on my personal experiences, being an affiliate has given me a lot more than not being an affiliate. But it doesn't mean that it's for everyone, and that's okay. But if you're getting stuck on these things, you're like, but I really want to be an affiliate, but it's just not working out. Be willing to check out your stuff, right? Evaluate your current position, where you're at, where your stats are going, how the growth is going as a result on those things. And make sure that you're looking at your content in a constructive manner. Don't be like, well, obviously I'm not growing because my face is poopy and my content is poopier, and therefore I'm poop. Like, don't do that, right? It's not helping anyone. It's not helping you, least of all. Try to look with a critical eye. And if you can't do it yourself, find somebody that you trust who can also do it, and whether or not you'd enjoy that stuff, right? And just watch your stuff, man. If I know that's a very uncomfortable thing. People don't like hearing their own voice. I like hearing my own voice. I mean, come on, listen to it. It's great. But do watch your stuff and try to get a feel for whether or not you'd enjoy your stuff. Because if you don't enjoy your stuff, why would somebody else enjoy your stuff, right? And that's not like a gotcha question there. It's a genuine question of, would people still enjoy the stuff that you're putting out? Or even if you're not personally connected to it. And I'll admit, I actually do create content for someone other than myself that is not for me. And that's okay. It's okay to make stuff that isn't for you. Maybe you are a family channel streamer, but you like going off and watching some BoJack Horseman after you're done streaming. More power to you. But make sure that someone is enjoying it beyond, or in order to help yourself grow. You also, of course, want to make sure you're able to, like, within life, to commit the time to all of this to make this happen without causing harm to your life. If you are working 12-hour shifts a day and you're coming home to a wife and 3 kids, and you're like, sorry, wife and 3 kids, I need to go and stream now for 7 hours so I can then become an affiliate and make $3 a month. That is a painful experience. I know you're trying to go into the grind and you're really trying to make something of yourself. But like, none of this is worth like blowing yourself out trying to make this all work. Take it from someone who in the past 24 hours has done about 18 hours of content. It is not always a comfortable experience. And I have the good fortune of having a very supportive partner and a very hazy dog right now, because he just got fixed, that are supporting me in my current endeavors. Everyone's home life is a little bit different, and everybody's responsibilities as a result are a little bit different. And you got to make sure that you are keeping yourself safe on all of that. And also when it comes to your viewers, and this is actually something that will help you in becoming an affiliate, ironically, don't tell your viewers that you're trying to push for affiliate. Don't put it in your title. Don't put it in your go live notification. Don't like put it on your screen. Just push for affiliate. Don't, try to push for the growth that allows affiliate to happen. If you keep telling people that, and that sort of narrative sticks for weeks and months, that starts to get people worn down, and it feels like the little bit of support they can provide to you is not enough. And when you're in a place where you only have like maybe one or two other viewers besides yourself, even scaring off one of those people is not ideal. So just keep trying to focus on the growth and the quality of the content before you try to be like, all right, we're going to game the system, folks. I need you to show up on Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday at approximately 4 p.m. to make sure that happens, right? Do you have to use giveaways to get people to tune in at first? No. I would say no. You don't have to do it. To me, and this, I speak from a place of privilege, and I do realize that. Giveaway follows and views are empty follows and views. So extremely rarely have I ever run a giveaway on my channel where someone came back after the fact to like, someone came back after the fact when I wasn't doing another giveaway, if that makes sense. And so maybe if you're really trying to shoot for that affiliate initially and you're like, I just need those numbers, I just need a little bit more. Sure. Maybe you're 1 or 2 streams off from hitting that 3 viewer average. Toss a giveaway or 2 in there. That's okay. But if you're looking for genuine growth, focus on, and this actually is something that I tend to do. Focus, if you're going to do giveaways, on audience retention rather than audience gaining. So like putting out giveaways on your Discord and things like that, where you are specifically trying to address your already present audience, will make them feel more attached to you, as opposed to some people using like bots to reach out and find giveaway or channels that are just kind of, fish for giveaways that are happening around Twitch and then just collecting prizes as they go. It happens, and it's not cool, man. Can you talk about the benefits of using a face cam as you stream? Certainly. We'll cover that in a second. I don't think I have anything in here about face cams. When I started streaming back in 2014, I did not use a face cam. And I did not use a face cam for the first 2 years of my stream. I think I grew up to about 25 viewer average, 30, somewhere about there, depending on the day. And I was feeling pretty strong and mighty about that. Not too bad for someone who only streamed 3 hours a night. And at the time, I was never really into the idea of the face cam. And I think I was, to this day, I think I could still pull it off just because I kind of have that radio background, right? If the advantage of the face cam, and why I love it as much as I do, is I can do things that are nonverbal to still add an element of personality to my stream, right? Unfortunately, I tend to have a bit of a dead face. I'm a voice and face for radio, right? But if something's happening in game and I'm like, or genuine terror or fear or excitement or things like that, being able to do things like that really add a lot of personality to the channel, right? It doesn't mean they have to do it every day, and doesn't mean you have to use it, but all of those non-verbal cues are really important and are really attractive for the human brain to see, if that makes sense. If people are not seeing that face, you have to work doubly as hard to make sure that the commentary you're providing injects your own voice and your own personality to the point where people feel like they still know you as a person. I started streaming with a green screen. I never looked back. Doesn't mean you have to use one. You don't have to have a great face cam, just one that shows you well enough that people can see what's going on in your world. Just one thing you should try to do if you do try to implement a face cam, try not to look bored. Like try to make sure that you occasionally look at the camera, that you're like, that you are being kind of emotional and active in your space. You don't have to like jump around and like really get into it. Just don't look like you're sitting on your couch playing video games. Don't be like, thanks for the follow, please. Because people are going to be really tired of that over time, right? The red screen. That was a joke, Cunning Dolphin. That was not a real screen. But yeah, just being able to engage with the face a whole lot more. Also, if you want a moment of silence and you don't want to talk, but you still want to have character on that stream, going like, as opposed to having all that happen without a face cam on, is going to be a lot more powerful, right? I can talk, I can be quiet and still be funny in those instances. As was mentioned before, with regards to like cutscenes, you can react visually to a cutscene without interrupting it, and people can enjoy that sort of stuff. Whereas if you do not have a face cam and you go away and it's just your game, it means that if there's a cutscene or thing going on, you are silent and you are out of that space. There is no input from you happening whatsoever, and you are no longer existing, right? And until you speak again, there is none of your personality being thrown into that. Just something to consider as you go along. These are awesome questions, by the way, guys. I want to keep answering them. I also want to keep moving, but please, if you have questions, be sure to ask them. I will give you my best answer from the years of experience that I've had. It isn't always the answer, but it's what has worked for me. Some guy was rated for 100 people. His response was, "Oh, right," and then ignored chat. It's okay to have the chill vibe stream, but when there are 1.5 million chill vibe streams, and all of them have 2 viewers, you understand why people might be looking for something a little bit more, if that makes sense. Anyway, so say you're trying to keep track of these stats and things. You're like, how do I hold on to this stuff? This is exhausting. How do I know I'm growing? Right, my follow count's going up, my viewership's staying the same, or vice versa. My viewership's going up, but my follower count isn't increasing. What's happening here? Going to your stream manager and checking out the channel analytics page is going to be your best friend. There is so much information there that you can use in order to determine what exactly is going on with your channel at a given time, what games are being effective for the things that you do, which things are not, what your average viewership is. This is great stuff to look at after your stream is done. Not during, because if you keep looking at stuff during, either like 2 scenarios are going to happen. One, your viewership is going down or it's staying the same, in which case you're like, your energy goes down and you're not necessarily feeling the stream. 2, the viewership goes up, in which case you're like, aha, now I'm ready to entertain. But you were waiting for the viewership to go up to entertain, and that's not so good. So something to consider as you're kind of building that up. Make sure that you are looking at stats after streams and not necessarily during. I look at all the views during the stream. I do. I hate it. I'm a gosh dang hypocrite, and I know it. Don't do what I do. Do as I say. Don't do as I do. I've had a lot of mental anguish over that over the years. Don't do it. If you're trying to go for that affiliate, you do have to keep in mind on the 30-day rolling window. Easiest way to keep track of that. Twitch has a 30-day, the last 30 days option that you can just click on, and it shows you the past 30 days of streams that you've had. People have asked me in the past, Shadow, I'm trying to get that 3-viewer average. If I'm not streaming on a day, does that mean it's set to 0 that day? And the answer is no. They only keep, or in that 30-day average that they're looking for, they're actually only checking the days that you streamed and not the days that you didn't. So don't worry about that. The other thing I was going to mention, because I realized that I didn't talk about it a lot. I talked a lot about, viewer retention and things like that. And maybe someone's really good at that, but they're like, oh, but Shadow, I can't really do 7 streams a month and 8 hours in that month. If you can't hit those numbers, and maybe it's just a temporary thing, maybe it's not something that's going to last forever for you in terms of like, I'll have more free time later. If you can't hit 8 hours a month, streaming as a hobby may not necessarily be for you in this moment. And that's the only reason for that is that streaming demands a lot of time from you. And as you grow bigger, it will only demand more from you. The work does not cease when you get bigger. It only increases in volume. And as a result, you're going to need that time to throw in this big bad time sink to make your channel work. And so if you can't get those 8 hours in stream, Twitch just might not be for you, man. It's okay. It's all right. We don't blame you. Life is tough. Life is hard. You got to have a job. You got to do other things. Just try your best to get get those affiliate requirements in at all times. Okay. So let's jump ahead a little bit here. Let's say you went through, you followed all of Uncle Shadow's advice, and suddenly now you are an affiliate. You hit the points, and now everything's good. What'll happen if once you do complete all those achievements is within a couple of hours or days, typically is from what I've seen, Twitch will send you an email. They also put a notification on your stream manager that says, hey, welcome to the next step of your life on Twitch. You are now leveled up to Twitch affiliate. And you're like, yeah, here we go. Job, career, ninja, go, watch out, here I come.
Sure. There's a few things you need to do before that, though, right? You're on your way in, you're getting up there, but now you get to start the process of onboarding. Yay! Paperwork. Speaking of which, that's number one thing you got to do when you onboard is an extensive amount of paperwork because, surprise, you are signing up for a job. And not a job in the fun way where you're an employee with benefits and such, but a job in the sense that someone will throw money at you and then you have to keep track of everything else. That, especially in the US, that still entails a decent bit of paperwork, especially when it comes to taxation. Remember that part I mentioned earlier where you can go to jail for streaming? This is that part if you don't keep track of this stuff. Keep track of this stuff, please. Anyway, there are 4 steps of the onboarding process that you have to do in order to become an affiliate. If you don't do these 4 steps, you don't get to become affiliate. Simple stuff enough. The first one, step 1, I didn't really put up a slide for it because it's actually pretty simple. They're just asking for basic information like name and address and stuff like that so that they have a record of who is the owner of the affiliate channel. The second one, all right, and we'll actually, yeah, I'll hit the third one first because the second one is a little bit more involved. The third one is the tax interview. This is if you've ever done contract work for somebody before, this form right here is going to look very familiar to you, which is the old W-9 in the US. What this means is that you are giving information to actually work your way through to become on there, or to allow to be paid essentially by this company that you are working with. Right? I'm sorry. It's the classic W-9. I've signed a dozen of these in the past year. I have a lot of side gigs, guys. The general gist of it is that the company that you're working for needs to report the income, the revenue that they're giving to you as an independent contractor, and the IRS needs to know about that stuff so that when it comes to tax time, that they know that you owe taxes on that money. No, you can't avoid this. No, you can't say, well, I'm a sovereign citizen. No, you can't do those things, right? Does this also apply to non-US streamers? Yes. Not this form in particular. This is the US form, but your own country-appropriate tax forms will also apply. This is also, by the way, not the exact form that you will have to use on Amazon. They have their own just kind of entry forms that you fill in. But this is effectively the same sort of information that they are going to need, whether it be, or it's going to be things like your full actual factual name. It's going to be if you have a business name, which some of you might, some of you don't. That's totally fine. Most of you don't, I should say. Also fine. For the most part, you're going to have to determine what sort of setup you are. If you don't know what that third section there is, you are a sole proprietor. That's the gist of that. If you don't know what the rest of those are, you are an individual / sole proprietor or single member LLC. And what that just means is that you are working as a singular identity and you should be taxed as such. Totally fine. Vast majority of streamers out there in the world are themselves sole proprietors or they've set up an LLC for themselves. Things that also need, you do have to put in your address. You have to put in your full places that people can locate you and send you mail about the taxes that you owe. You also need to put in some sort of tax identifying number. So if you are in the US, that's your social security number, or if you have an EIN, you can do that as well. If you are not in, if you're not in the US, you have other things you have to fill out. A vast majority of countries have some sort of tax identifying like ID or number or something like that. And you do need to use those in order to actually apply. If you're under the age of 18, ask an adult for help. Yes, I know, dear 15-year-old who's trying to stream without his parents knowing, who's like, I finally got some viewership and I really want to make money off of this, but I don't want to clue them in because I know they won't understand and they'll think it's a scam and I don't want to keep them in this. You need your social security number, and until you turn 18, you need to have your parents involved in the process. It's a legal matter. You can't touch it otherwise. I'm not going to give any further like legal tax advice beyond that. There will be some other tax stuff that I'll talk about at the end, just from my own personal experience. I cannot even remotely speak to what the process is for out of the country participants as well. Just that you will have to do similar things. This is still revenue. This is still income. And however your country treats your income is how you need to treat this. This is no different than getting a quick job at like a seasonal place or things like that, where you're just working part-time and earning some cash that way. In fact, even worse, in that a lot of places will withhold, if you're an employee of a place, they'll withhold taxes from your paycheck, so you just get the paycheck after the fact. Twitch doesn't do that, so we'll talk more about that later. So that's a big part, and that kind of scares a lot of people. But it's also extremely important that you know that's what's going to come up when you're starting to set this up. Also, if this tax interview is the place that people get stuck on the most. If you do not fill out this tax information correctly, that interview is going to eventually fail, and you'll have to redo the entire process again. Not hitting all the achievements again, but you will have to do your paperwork over again, and that can take a couple of days to be detected as wrong. So please make sure that you're filling it out correctly the first time. Don't try to kind of hum your way through it. If you need help, ask a tax professional or even a lawyer if you really need it, all right? Or if you're a kid, ask your parents, please. Please. And yes, you will have to redo this every so often as well. It's true. So this is the next part here that you do need to be aware of. Here is the Twitch affiliate contract. I will give you the next 3 minutes to review it so you understand exactly what you're getting yourself into as you are getting yourself up as an affiliate. Good? We got it? Great. No, this is a genuine document, though, and I'll actually post the link of into chat here. What's fun about this, back with my partner workshop, I could not talk about what the contract looks like for partners because partner contracts, number one, are usually confidential, and number two, differ from one another. The nice part about the affiliate agreement is that it is available publicly online, even if or provided by Twitch themselves. And as a result, we can actually discuss various aspects of the contract here. The number one thing, as you see on the screen there, read your contract before you sign the contract. There are some little getcha or kind of gotchas a little bit here and there that you may not otherwise see if you don't read it, which we'll cover. But there will be also things on there that maybe you don't know about and you really should check. And so those are sort of things that you really definitely need to go through before you sign up for this stuff. This isn't like the Twitch terms of service or like the EULAs that you never read on the various bits of software that you install and then wonder why all of your information is being sent somewhere. This is binding, right? And if you do something that goes against contract, you can lose your channel, and it's not cool. So let's discuss some of the things that are specific on the affiliate contract that I think people don't necessarily expect. For the most part, a lot of it is pretty much expected. There are a lot of like data privacy things, licensing things like that, making sure that you follow the Twitch terms of service as laid out. But there are also a few additional pieces that people don't always necessarily see. Yes. Also, as a disclaimer, anything on StreamerSquare cannot be taken as legal advice. Please talk to a lawyer directly. I am not a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. I am not a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. Okay. But here's one thing that people get caught on pretty frequently, which is the live content exclusivity section. This discusses when you become the fact that when you become an affiliate, whatever you stream on Twitch is Twitch's to hold on to for 24 hours after you are done streaming. What that means is you cannot take your stream and multi-stream it to other places. If you say, for example, you start streaming on Twitch and then you also decide to stream on YouTube and like Facebook and whatever smoldering remains there are of Mixer these days, and you try to do that all simultaneously, that is against your affiliate contract. If you exclude Twitch from that, you are safe. But if you include Twitch with that, you are not safe. You can have your own YouTube channel. You can have all that rolling away on its own. But you have to make sure that Twitch content stays on Twitch exclusively for at least 24 hours. They're not going to come after you for, say, like clips and little things like that, where you can like share that on social media and things like that. They want to help you make sure you get there. But you couldn't say take the VOD or the recording of the stream afterward the fact and immediately throw it up on YouTube or Vimeo or wherever else you might toss it up. That catches a lot of people, especially people who are starting off who are trying to do the kind of multi-stream setup where they're like, I'm just going to cast a wide net and hope that I gain an audience on one of them. Once you sign the affiliate contract, you're kind of married. You have to hold on to it, all right? little mono partnered when it comes to platforms at that point, when it comes to live content. Other things, I think sometimes people are caught off guard by this as well. The subscriptions on your channel. When people subscribe to your channel, you get they pay for $4.99. Which is per, $4.99 USD. They get themselves a subscription to your channel, which means that you get, or that they get emotes and other sort of advantages to the channel, which we'll talk a little bit more later. Subscriptions or subscription revenue is split 50-50 between you and Twitch. So in kind of very blunt, practical terms, if someone subscribes for $5, you get $2.50. There are other tiers of subscriptions too. The $10 tier, you get $5. $25 tier, you get $12.50. Which means that also any fees that come up with it as well, whether it be taxes and things of that nature too, which can come up. But yeah, and any fees that are accrued through dealing. Twitch Prime is no fees. That is true. Through transactions, unfortunately, do kind of cut into that revenue gain as well. It's why getting a lot more subscriptions is a pretty nice thing, but having just a few doesn't really build up too much. And that's just something you really do need to think about as you're going along with that. Just know that those subscriptions, Twitch is taking a lot off the top of that thing. Let's see here. What else do we have here? This one scares some people sometimes. Some fees as high as $4. I remember Exala. I used that for one of the first channels I ever subscribed to. Shouts to Snarfy Bobo. There's some pretty nasty fees on those. So don't always expect you're going to get $2.50 even then out of the subscriptions that you are receiving. This one sometimes scares people, and they're like, if I don't make $100 in a year, then Twitch will take my account away, and they'll take all my money. This clause is in here to pretty much wipe completely and totally inactive accounts from Twitch. My guess is that there's probably a decent bit of legal kind of hurdles they have to climb if they have to hold on to a lot of just kind of a lot of low change on Twitch for more than 1 year at a time in terms of revenue. And so if you are an affiliate on Twitch and you do not stream or you do not make any sort of substantial activity as has been described on your account for 12 months straight, so 1 full year, they will actually just cancel your affiliate contract, and any money that you've made in that space, or in that space that you have not collected upon, and we'll talk about why $100 in a little bit. Twitch will actually just send you the rest of what you've earned minus $25. So if you have $75 in your account and you just disappear off the planet for a year, they will close out your account, and if you had $50, you'll actually get 25 of it back. Twitch will then charge you $25. If you had $25 in there, then you will get $0 back. If you had $0 in there, and this people have asked about this, no, Twitch does not charge you $25 anyway. They're just subtracting it for whatever balance you had in there to start. If there's no money in there to start, they're not going to care, and they're not going to charge you for it. It does scare people sometimes when they see that. I just wanted to be clear about that. But this is why you read your contract. So please read it before you sign it when you go on board. And if you have any questions about it, don't ask me. Ask someone who you can pay to give an official legal opinion on things. So that way you can feel a little bit more certain about this. Space Magic Stormast, can you alternate streaming platforms? Yes, if you went and streamed on Twitch and then the next day you went and streamed on YouTube, but you did not stream on Twitch at the same time, that is perfectly fine. Twitch cannot control content that does not happen on Twitch. They'll sometimes moderate based on content that's not on Twitch, but they won't cancel your contract for that unless there are stipulations in a specific contract that you have, which is not contained within the affiliate contract. All right. The amount of money making off the interest must be insane. All right, so once you get through the tax stuff, the contract, you get into kind of some of the more fun stuff, right? What you talk to Twitch about how you want to get paid when you eventually do get paid. In the US, you have 5 different options that you can choose from. Those include a direct deposit, just like maybe if you work at a job where you get normal wages, you will just get at a certain time each year or each month, a direct deposit into your bank account, whatever you choose there. Money by wire, if you like to live ferociously and dangerously and you like to have some like TransUnion stuff or Western Union, I think it is. Sorry, not TransUnion. And you tend to work on the money by wire sort of things. You have higher fees as a result of getting that money, but it might be easier for you, depending on where you are, to receive that money a little more anonymously. You can also do PayPal. I do PayPal. PayPal is super easy because that means that you can just kind of wire everything through PayPal, and then you can have that then transfer over to various bank accounts or pay off debt and things like that. You can also go for the classic check by mail. If you're like, hey, you know, I just want to have that sweet, sweet Twitch check in my hands. That's totally fine. You can sign up for that. It will take longer for that to process, however, just so you know. And then the last option, if you're like, nah, I don't really want the money yet, is you can hold payments, right? You can just have Twitch hold on to the money, and then eventually you can decide later to set this again, in which case then you can get the money there. Where's the cash option, where Twitch just sends you an unmarked envelope full of cash? Not quite. Not the safest thing in the world, right?
Can I get it in like 300 pennies, 14 dimes, and 1,047 nickels, please?
No. Take the check to your bank and then make some poor bank teller sweat it out, huh? Don't make Twitch do it. They're not going to do it for you. It's true though. PayPal is not a bank. Don't hold too much cash in PayPal. I frequently will keep a little bit in PayPal so I can do quick like business transactions, but then I will put everything else in my bank accounts, which actually accrue interest, as opposed to PayPal, which typically does not. And that is that's typically something you kind of want to stick to. Again, not a tax professional. I'm not a person like that. So do what you need to do. PayPal is pretty handy. But as always, if you're confused or unsure about any of these things, and you're like, I don't know what works best for me, talk to a local tax or business professional. Those sort of things are pretty handy as well, right? Thank you. That's actually a fantastic thing. Mondays here on StreamerSquare, there's a stream where an actual CPA will come in and talk to you about various things. That's a very good thing to check out. Please do so. I've been to workshops and panels hosted by people like that, and it's so handy. It's so useful to hear. All right, so you did all the stuff. You filled all the paperwork. You dotted all the I's, crossed all the T's, kissed all the lips. Now you're here, right? Money now, yes? Answer is kind of, but you still have to earn it, right? You still have to convince people that you're worth giving this money to. There are various options and kind of avenues for you to earn revenue on Twitch, and those include things like, number one, bits. Bits are the on-platform currency that viewers can either purchase or earn via either surveys or various specific advertisements. Whenever a viewer purchases or earns that currency, they can then cheer it to your channel. That cheering process converts the bits into revenue for your channel and cannot be turned back into bits unless you purchase more bits. In that sense, every bit that you receive as a streamer is converted into $1 cent. So if you get 100 bits, you get $1. If you get 1,000 bits, you get $10. If you get 1,000,000 bits, you get the idea, right? Just divide it by 100 and you'll figure out where you're at. Pretty handy stuff, compared to someone giving you just a regular old tip via maybe like Streamlabs or something like that. There's a bigger cut on Twitch's side for that when the viewer actually purchased them. But when they give you the bits, the nice part is when they give you 100 bits, they know that 100 bits is going straight to you, right? The cut happens on the purchasing side instead of the redeeming side, which is kind of nice. And again, provides chargeback protection. So like if someone's like, here's $1,000, and then just kidding, I actually want it back. That's a pretty nice thing to be like, nope, sorry, you kind of already did it and you can't get it back now. Because Twitch focuses on the actual purchasing side as opposed to the redemption side. Yes, bits versus cheering. Bits are the currency. Cheering is the verb, the action of sending bits to a person, right? Yes, affiliates do have access to the bounty board in limited supplies. It's not it's certainly not out to everybody, but I believe I'm pretty darn certain there are a few affiliates that do have it. How much, for an example, does a person pay for 100 bits? Depending on where, what country and what taxes are applicable. I believe the base price for 100 bits is $1.40, which if you think about it from that perspective, is a pretty hard cut on Twitch's part, right? But when it comes to purchasing bits, that it is one of those things where the less you buy, the less you get, or the less value you get. The further you go along down the line and you purchase larger and larger bins and you get your Costco-sized pile of bits, that cut goes down over time, right? So typically it's best to purchase piles of bits and then use them slowly, as opposed to incrementally over the course of several streams, as opposed to just buying 100 bits at a time, because that's not so good. Subscriptions are, of course, the kind of the lifeblood of most channels, because it is the most consistent payment model that a streamer can receive. Once again, anytime somebody subscribes to the channel in a normal sense, that is a monthly recurring charge on their credit card or something like that, and then you'll get half of that and Twitch gets the other half. Those could also include things like Twitch Prime, or what is it called? It is Prime Gaming or something like that nowadays. I think they just changed the name very recently, or at least the service of getting games as a result of being Twitch Prime has a new name. But the idea appeal still applies the same. If you have Amazon Prime and you connect it to your Twitch account, you can get a free subscription that you can hand out to a streamer, who then receives the usual cut on a $4.99 revenue cut for that. So you get, you're kind of $2.50 or somewhere more or less by getting that. There are also gifted subscriptions, which also work like 1 month of a subscription that you can then receive revenue on. Ads are kind of a slightly more recently thing added to affiliates, and is a bit of a sticking point for some affiliates. For some streamers. Some streamers don't really hate the idea of being having advertisements run on their channel. It's just a reality of the platform that if you are streaming on the channel or on Twitch, it does cost Twitch money to do, and Twitch wants to make money back and then some, which is why they're there. Their ads are paid on what's called a CPM basis. If you've never done stuff like YouTube before, the gist of it is that different ads may have different prices, but generally you'll get, let's say, like $3.50 CPM. What that means then is that for every 1,000 views that your channel accrues of a 30-second ad, you'll receive $3.50. What that means is that every one viewer, not a whole lot of ad revenue coming in. But if you have a lot of ads or a lot of viewers, that number starts to balloon up over time. It's also why, for affiliates, having a lot of ads running is usually not very advantageous and typically tends to scare people away. You have the opportunity to run ads on your channel, but it doesn't necessarily always mean that that's going to be useful for you. Excuse me. There is a feature for subscriptions, by the way, that you can enable as a broadcaster, that if you that subscribers can actually avoid watching ads on your channel. It does mean that you don't get that ad revenue from those viewers, but it does mean that people like you more, and you're in a place as an affiliate where you need more people to like you more than necessarily earning those extra 2 cents a month from your ad playing, right? Otherwise, you can earn revenue. Extensions. There are these add-ons that you can add onto your stream that viewers can throw bits at, which then usually the person who made the extension gets a little bit of a cut, and then after that, you receive the rest. Things like crowd control and things of that nature, where people can pay to change the outcome of a particular game, is a pretty frequent occurrence on Twitch, and it's a pretty fun thing. You can check out the extensions thing on your stream manager and see what works for you. And the last thing that I have here is pretty uncommon, but there is this thing called the bounty board. The idea being that the pretty much Twitch, it's kind of an invite-only thing, where Twitch will send you limited little one-off sponsorships for various streams. You can choose to accept a bounty or not, and Twitch will tell you what you need to do, whether it be showing off a product, a service, a movie, a video game, and you have to show it for a certain amount of time. And based on how much viewership you have during that time, you will be paid on a certain scale. There'll be a max payment that you can earn based on the viewership that you have. And if you have fewer If you have fewer viewers than that, it will work. It'll cut down on the amount of money you get, proportional to how much lower the viewership was from their target point. You don't have to worry about the bounty board too often as an affiliate because you have to have pretty good viewership in order to even make that worthwhile. But it is technically something you can earn as an affiliate. So let's say you start building up that revenue and everything's feeling great, and you're like, "Yeah, I got money now. Woo! What do I do now? Do I get paid now?" So this is how Twitch pays out your money. Once you earn $100 of revenue on Twitch, that is when they're going to begin the process of paying you, starting at the end of any given month. So at the end of the month, Twitch checks to see if how much revenue you've gained, and if it's $100 or more, then they're going to start the process of paying it out to you. That happens on, like I said, net 15 at the beginning of this workshop. I mentioned that. And that net 15 means that you will receive revenue 15 days after the end of that previous month. So let's say Tim123 makes $200 throughout August, and that was their first time streaming as affiliate. And they're like, "Wow, look at all this money I got." End of August hits. They've been building up all before. And then Twitch will give them the money however they asked to receive money, starting 15 days after. So if you did it in August, more than likely you'll be paid around September 15th. Yes, Morag's absolutely correct. It used to be so much longer. It used to be like, I think net 45 for partners, net 60 for affiliates. So you had to wait 2 months after you made that money to receive it, that was a long wait. Now, let's say you're starting off and you didn't have a lot, or you didn't necessarily hit that $100 marker. Do they just keep your money and that's it? No. Instead, what it means is that think of it as kind of like a little bucket, right? If you don't, let's say you made $30 in July and then like $50 in August. That bucket now has $80, which is still not enough to get paid out yet, but the bucket keeps accumulating. Let's say then in September, you have the $80 piling up, and you earn another $50 from people in September, and now all of a sudden you have enough to get over that $100 hump. In which case, then Twitch will pay out, if I do my math correctly, $130 to you in October, usually around October 15th. So yeah, they'll just hold on to your money, and they'll probably make money off of it, but they'll then eventually give it to you. The big game, of course, is to try to earn $100 a month, so that way you get paid every month. It's a nice feeling, but it doesn't happen for everyone. Okay, so let's talk about how you are going to convince people to pay for the things in your world, right? And big part of that is making sure you actually provide them some sort of reward other than just the sweet rewarding of you making sure people feel comfortable. So when it comes to that, there are plenty of different things that you can do, and I'm actually going ahead and bring up my dummy account that I have called Twitch Test or Shadow Test. This is an account that I made as an affiliate a few months ago, and I like to use it for workshops like these, just to kind of let you guys follow along to where we're going, right? I'm never gonna get the money from this secret affiliate channel. No, absolutely not. So this is actually an affiliate channel that I own, and I'm happy to show you everything that I have on it because I don't care about this channel other than for StreamerSquare. You can see, of course, I can go to channel analytics. I have nothing here because I haven't streamed here in a while, but you can, of course, scroll through and check back previous months. You can also go back and see kind of an accumulation of what you've done so far and just have it update, and you can see what sort of viewership, views, and revenue you've earned in that time. Look at this. Look at that powerful $3.35 that I made on this bad boy. Woo, baby. But yeah, different things that you can see. And of course, on the revenue page here, you can see how it's kind of divvied up. There are lots of different options for how revenue can be earned on the channel, and it will split it out into those different sections for you as you go along. All right, focusing on the main point of why we're here. So you can, of course, at any time start over your affiliate or your onboarding. If, like, let's say you need to change your address or you want to change your payout setup or something like that, you can always start this over and go from there. You're also going to view your affiliate agreement at any given time, which in this case literally sent it to that public site again. But here's where we're really getting into the nitty-gritty of it, right? For subscriptions, you have yourself a name that you can change if you so choose. I don't think people really ever attach too much value to the names of your subscriptions, but you can come up with something cute and fancy and something on brand for yourself if you want to try to name these a little bit different than just tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, right? Emotes, though, are the lifeblood of Twitch, and you should absolutely try to make sure that you're on top of this as soon as you become an affiliate. As soon as you do become an affiliate, you have access to 3 emote slots at the outset that people can immediately jump upon. These affiliate slots, or these emote slots, you should definitely try to fill. This one over here is for tier 1 streamers, or tier 1 subscribers. This one's for tier 2, or the people who pay $10. And this is the one for tier 3, people who pay $25. To submit an emote, you just have to scroll down here, and you just have to put in an image here. That has maximum. They simplified this way much in the past couple of months here, and it's super nice. You just have to make sure that it has that is a square image, and that it fits the guidelines for emotes on Twitch. And you could actually, if you just Google that, you'll find it pretty quick. And that's a pretty handy way of keeping track of what you can and cannot have as a particular emote. Make sure that that it's not animated. Make sure it's a square shape. And then whatever sort of emote you come up with, you do also have to come up with an emote code so that when someone types it out, they know what they're getting. For affiliates, you do not get to choose what your emote code is at the front of it. My channel here is called Shadow Test, so I'm just labeled as Shadot or waiting for Shadow, depending on what your absurdist play knowledge is. So in this case, I'm going to do Shadow Panic, in which case I'll type the code in here. You can only get up to 20 characters on that thing, and it already sets it up right there where you get Shadow and then capital P Panic. It'll camel case any sort of emote that you add in, right? And maybe like, hey, Shadow, you know, cool, great, you can upload an emote. How do I get an emote? How do I make an emote? What is an emote? Again, you want to focus on making things that you want to make a nice square emote, number 1. Number 2, you want to have an emote that that people want to use, right? Play to emotions, play to ideas, play to things that people are going to be excited about. Inside jokes are fun for your own viewers, but make sure that it's something that other people will be excited to see coming into your channel for the first time. Something with something that, you know, is happy or sad, or there are a lot of different outcomes out there that you can try out, or something new. But definitely make sure that it's something that would appeal to a wide range of people. Now you might be wondering, it's like, okay, but there are cute emotes out there. How do I make those? Well, first off, learn Photoshop if you don't know it or something like that. But second off, you can pay people to do it, right? And that is a really solid idea to try to get an artist involved in your channel, especially once revenue starts rolling in. It was the number 1 mistake that I made of trying to depend on ad hoc volunteer work, or depending on my own middling to our purely amateurish artistic skills, to find someone who's be willing to do my artwork for me and paying them to do it, right? It definitely helps to know people. Networking in this case is extremely handy. But you know what else is a good place to check for people like that? Twitter, Instagram. Check, just search up like Twitch emotes and things like that. And typically you can find artists with a solid track record who are willing to take your money and turn it into emotes that you want. Typically I've paid anywhere from $15 to $70 for an emote, depending on the level of quality, the busyness of the artist, how fast the turnaround needed to be, and what kind of complexity, what level of complexity that particular emote had. Yes, you definitely look at the subscriber emote guide, but as Morag mentioned, buttholes, definitely a big old no. Any nudity of any kind, white stuff on face emotes, and letters, mostly because if you make like an alphabet on your stream, that means that you can now, or people can officially spell whatever they want with that, which is not so cool. And that's why they try to avoid that too much, right? As a new affiliate, once you submit an emote, it will take some time for Twitch to manually verify it. When you're a new affiliate, any new artwork that you submit that people have to pay for will have to be checked by someone on Twitch's side before it can be released to your channel. So if you get an affiliate, or if you become an affiliate and you're like, all right, here I go, 10 minutes before the stream starts, I'm going to submit my emote. Why isn't it here for my first stream? Come on. That is something that can take days or even weeks in our present climate that we have. So be sure to plan for that. My recommendation is, if you're getting close to being an affiliate, get them designed in advance so that minute 1 of being an affiliate, you can immediately get those submitted and go on from there. More recently, longer streaming affiliates, those I believe who have been streaming for 60 days or more, they have the opportunity to actually, excuse me, they actually have the opportunity to have them automatically submitted, where it's like you have to ask for forgiveness more than for permission. That way you pretty much get it pretty much as fast as Twitch's like database can update, and it's pretty nice. Yes, no copyrighted material when it comes to your emotes. Does it mean that partners and people who get emotes automatically submitted don't get away with that? Yeah, people get away with it all the time, but don't do it, because there is a chance. Yes, is the up to the owner of that material to remove it and protect their enforce their trademark, as opposed to Twitch's intent to try and police it all themselves, right? So if you're going to use something, don't say anything. But seriously, don't enforce, or like don't fight them on that, because if you go around and you start using like Fortnite logos for your emotes, Fortnite's gonna be like, hey, stop. All right. So we got through emotes. Subscription emotes are definitely a thing. Loyalty badges also come with subscriber or for subscriptions. The longer someone has been subscribed to a channel, the fancier of a little badge next to their name they can have. And those are badges that you need to make yourself. Typically, the kind of the main play that a lot of streamers have is a rapidly evolving badge that you can have over time. For me, it's just my letters ST that I have that will upgrade various colors from like white to like wood to stone to bronze to silver to gold to rainbow kind of thing. And that's something that you can have. You can have pretty much anything you want. You only get, as an affiliate, you only get the base one, which you can change up, along with the 2-month, the 3-month, the 6-month, the 9-month, and the 1-year badge. So after that, then you have to wait to become a partner to get more than those. Unlike the emotes, the badges that you need to have, actually you need to have 3 versions of it. One that is 18 by 18 pixel, one that's 36 by 36, one 72 by 72. All the more reason to hire somebody that already knows how to do this stuff. Other thing too, the badge flare is a new thing where you can actually add custom flare to these loyalty badges that appear or apply when people go for tier 2 and tier 3 subs. It's a pretty nice and handy little thing, and is a nice little value add for people who subscribe to your channel that way. Now, the thing with the emotes, before I forget, the more subscribers that you get on your channel, the more subscriber points that you earn more emote slots. So as an affiliate, I think you can earn up to 5 emote slots in addition to the ones that you already have by having more subscribers. Those subscriber points, by the way, this is another place where the tier 2 and tier 3 come into play. If you are tier 1, if you're a tier 1 sub, you're providing 1 sub point to the channel. If you're a tier 2 sub, you are giving 2 sub points to the channel. If you're a tier 3 sub, you get 6 points to the channel instead of 5. Which is a nice little extra bonus. It's not super huge, but it is nice. And then, so those points are the ones that actually Twitch checks to see whether or not you have earned another emote slot. And once you earn another emote slot for your channel, you do not lose it, which is a pretty nice little feature. So keep that in mind if you're going on like a gift sub binge or something like that, that you can keep those emote slots for life. Other things here. We can see here, this is the ad-free viewing part that we talked about. I have this checked on my channel. You probably should too, unless you know that you're going to earn a lot of money from the ads. This way, you can give a really nice big value add to a subscriber to say, hey, you don't like ads on my channel? Subscribe to my channel, and then now you don't have to watch them anymore. Fun stuff. You can also give them other powers too, which are pretty nice. You could do things like all recordings can only be watched by subscribers. Not a great way to grow. Good way for subscribers, though, and if you are already big. Bits and cheering. You have people can give bits to your channel, of course, and this is where you can set how many they can give at a time. I would recommend putting it above 1 because otherwise it means that someone can really spam your the crap out of your channel with $1. I have, I think, 10 minimum bits to cheer on mine, and what that allows for me is that I can, by doing so, I can prevent them from spamming too hard, because spamming dimes is a little bit harder than spamming pennies, right? Also, taking a look at giving out bits, the more bits that a viewer gives, the more badges that they can earn here, as you can see. And these different badges you can see are set up as such. If you want to change up a particular badge, you can actually change it from what you see there, I do believe, to changing the badge to something that's a little bit more appropriate for your brand. For me, I kind of have a Legends of the Hidden Temple motif, for those of you who love that 90s game show like I do. And so I actually use little team badges for that, and that's super fun. You also, when people unlock various badges here, you also earn an emote that you just hold on to forever. And these are cumulative, right? So if you if you just give like 1,000 bits to the channel, you get that badge for as long as you're on that channel, and you get an extra emote that you can upload here. So in reality, what that means is that instead of just having 3 emotes to start with, you can actually have up to an additional 3 emotes here that people can earn by getting 1K, 5K, and 10K bits given to you on your channel. Other things here, going through the cheer stuff, hype training leaderboards, just kind of ways of attracting people to give more money to you. Hype train is a way of like just kind of chaining things together. If there's a lot of energy happening in the channel, it's a good way of continuing that energy and having more people give for some little emote gifts that they can get. Leaderboards are just bragging rights for people who have given money so far. And then the pre-roll ad system. So no matter what, no matter who you are, as long as you're an affiliate or a partner, Twitch will always run pre-roll ads on your channel. That means when a person comes into your channel, the first thing they're going to see, unless they came in from a raid, is an advertisement. However, if you run what are called mid-roll ads on your channel, so that is to say there'll be a button on your stream manager that you can hit to run an advertisement, you can actually use that and as a kind of a more recent feature, disable pre-roll ads on your channel for a certain amount of time. And that's listed right here. For 30 seconds of an ad, or if you do a 30-second ad break, you get 10 minutes of pre-roll ad free. And then you can go up to 1.5 minutes of an ad break to get 30 minutes per time. So in practice, what you could do is you could run, take half-hour breaks where you run 90 seconds worth of ads, and then nobody has to watch any ads in the meantime until the next ad break. Depends on how your content's set up. If you can pull that off, great. You might annoy some people, but it is a way to do it. And you can actually see on this one, the revenue share for mine is in fact $3.50 for ad revenue. Not a great value for a new streamer, but it is there. All right. Any questions about any of that before we get into the finish line here? Because I've already been going for almost 2 hours, and that is a little extreme. But there's a lot to cover, and you guys have been asking a lot of good questions, and I want to make sure that I'm not leaving anybody out here. So, let's say you've gotten all that set up and you're feeling high and mighty. You got your affiliate stuff. You got all your artwork and stuff. By the way, actually, one last thing with the artwork. When you hire an artist, see if they also do branding. I know it's fine to do. It feels good to just kind of do some slapdash stuff up to a certain point when you're kind of starting off your channel. But it's a really good idea to try to match up all that branding across platforms and things over time. I had a fan of the show who made my logo that you see on that this slide right here, which I should also bring up so you can see the whole thing. And we actually went through several different prototypes of this logo before eventually coming to this. And I love my logo very much. And all my stuff is branded with this particular color and aesthetic. And it's handy to have that. People like that sense of professionalism that comes with having a consistent theme. Doesn't mean they have to have everything around, but you do want to make sure that you at least try to connect things together. How much do graphic artists charge for emotes? Very much depends on the artist and the quality of the content. If you go to Fiverr, it's going to be heck of cheap, right? Maybe you can get a $5 emote. The emotes that I have typically paid for, like the moon and the mad duck that you see there, which intentionally, or both of them are supposed to be kind of very cartoonish, and the one on the right is supposed to be kind of almost crudely drawn intentionally. They each cost me $35 for the artist that I worked with. Again, depending on what sort of emotes you got and who you're working with, can be anywhere from like usually around $15 to $75 is around where I've seen. And please pay your artists. If you pay your artists good, they're going to treat you good, and you should keep doing that as best you can. If you don't, they are not going to like you very much, and they're not going to put a lot of effort into that stuff. So please do pay your artists and expect to have to pay for the artwork that you get. Okay, you get what you pay for, if that makes sense. Or find a friend who you can mooch off of. Either way. All right. So last kind of point of this thing here, right? So you got everything set up. You got all the artwork. You got all the stuff set up. You got all the paperwork done. You started making revenue. Can this be my job now? Are we done? Can we just become a career streamer and everything's good? The answer is yes, you could. But it's going to take a lot more involved with that. And we're not going to talk all about it here necessarily today. But the biggest thing that I think people forget about, and sometimes almost intentionally and like ignorant, or like intentionally ignorantly, is that all the money that you make on Twitch is taxable income. And that includes subscriptions, that includes bits, that includes ad revenue, that includes if you go to Streamlabs and set up like your PayPal and people donate to your PayPal, all of that is income, and it's taxable income as a result. And at the end of the taxable year, you do need to do need to chart all that up, and you do need to pay off the taxes owed for it. You can also, of course, like all the Twitch is not going to pay your taxes, so you absolutely have to keep track of your own stuff and then report at the end of the year. If you make a significant amount, absolutely pay every quarter. This is my first year that I'm paying quarterly on my taxes. But that doesn't mean you have to do it all the time. Up until this year, I was more or less just breaking even mostly on streaming. I had my own my own day job, so I just kind of threw everything back into streaming. And most of the expenses that I had, especially travel, kind of ate up any sort of revenue I made. So I didn't have to necessarily worry about taxes as much. So there is a kind of a penalty you pay if you don't pay every quarter on those things. But it was so kind of insignificant for me that it didn't really matter too much. If you start making a meaningful amount, like a full-time profession amount of money, yes, you would actually pay your estimated taxes, estimated income tax every quarter. And you can send that off to the tax service, and they will make sure they have it. That's in the U.S. Again, seek advice from a tax professional or tax software. I use TurboTax for myself. I know it's a nasty company, but it does work pretty well. Yes, at the end of the year, Twitch will send you a document called the 1099. For those of you in the U.S., for other people, it will be a slightly different document. And that 1099 will be what the Twitch is reporting based on the information that they have of what they gave you this year. That being said, it is not accurate. And you need to make sure that you are reporting instead the money that you actually received in that year. Okay. So if Twitch gives you a 1099 at the end of 2020 and you look at it and you realize that you got paid $300 more or when you look at the payouts that you received than what Twitch reported, you need to report the additional $300 in addition to that 1099 that you receive. 1099, by the way, being a form that Twitch sends saying, hey, you as an independent contractor made this much according to our records. You got to make sure you keep track of that. You need to also make sure that you keep up both the income and expenses because as a business owner, as the person of business that you are as you're becoming a streamer, is that you can also offset the amount of income, the revenue and profit that you make by the expenses that you're doing for your job. There are very specific things that you can charge as expenses for that career. You can't be like, yeah, I got a car because I might drive to conventions eventually. No. But if you need to purchase equipment for your computer or a new microphone or something like that, that is absolutely the sort of things that you can deduct as a business expense that you can then help yourself out with quite a bit come tax time. Again, talk to a tax professional. I am not a tax professional. I cannot provide professional tax advice. I can only provide the advice based on the information and opinions that I have from my personal experience. TurboTax is a pretty okay, like independent contractor, sole proprietor stuff. It is a pretty good, it's not a bad way to kind of get started. If you got some more complicated stuff and you want more information, check out your brand, your business, and or speak to an actual local CPA and get everything kind of figured out. Here's the big thing, though, when it comes to trying to make this a job, right? Because people ask this, and even when people don't ask this, and they're like, front brain is like, yeah, of course, I'm just doing this for fun. But also, if I make a little bit of money for it, I'll just make sure I put it back into the stream and everything's great. Ha ha. In the back, they're so like, I can make this a job. I can make it. I can actually do it, right? Yeah. It takes a lot of work to turn this into something that is genuinely a powerful enough force to make it a sustainable career. Vast majority of streamers never make a career out of this. It took me 6 years to get close. I'm actually finally at the point, and honestly, it's not just because of my Twitch, it's because of other things that I do around that space that I could potentially do it. But it took me 6 years to get there. And it could take you longer, it could take you shorter, but it's going to take a lot of time and it's going to take more work than it is for any other job that you probably have done before. If that doesn't sound fun to you and you still want to try it though, that's a lot of stress to put on something that is supposed to be, that it hinges on you enjoying the things that you do when you stream. If you are in full-on stress and panic mode as you stream, it's going to show and reflect in the content you create, and that's not going to go well for growth and making sure that people actually want to support you. So really do make sure that you are supporting yourself, not financially through streaming, but mentally and emotionally through streaming. If it does become a thing where, like, you know, you are doing pretty well and you're feeling pretty solid, sure, look through how it's going to work for you. Make sure you got some money saved up and things like that. And will be willing to take, or if you have people at home, make sure that they're willing to support you throughout that, even if you fall on your face. My recommendation, it's something that I have kept to myself here, is that only think of this as a job when you are making job money off of it. If you are not making job money off of it when you start, or especially at the start, don't consider it a job yet. Work on it, build it up. Think of it as an awesome side hustle or a fantastic hobby that pays for itself first. Only when you start making a significant profit off of it and you're not throwing it all back into the business can you really start thinking, okay, maybe I'll start kind of diverting away from other things to get to this. All right. So last bit here, then, I know that's a downer, but it's a real good disclaimer, and I really think it is important when it comes to that. All right, last bit here. So what's next? I got all that stuff. I understand I'm doing it for the quote unquote right reasons. There's no right reason for streaming. Just be aware of that. I get it. Again, if you want to try to turn this into a career, I'm not going to stop you. Just from my own personal experience and attempting that once or twice in my life, it is not worth mental anguish. It just isn't. Keep it as a fun, lighthearted hobby. Try to put the time in where you can, and try to build up that stuff where you can eventually get into some good stuff. So to that end, once you become an affiliate, stream. Just keep streaming. Do what you're streaming before. Stream some more. Try to, of course, implement the various revenue things that you now have, but keep on streaming. This is really truly the start of your journey here on Twitch. Have fun with it. Experiment. Do weird stuff. Don't just stick to all the same stuff all the time. Do something new, something different. What was it? My fiance and I just recently did a stream where I pretended that I was on an HGTV show as we were rolling with you're supposed to keep streaming. What? We were pretending we were on an HGTV show where she was like the house minder and I was like the client who was like, you know, I really want this to be a sky room. And people people ate that up. They had a great time with it. Do things that are different from the norm and you're going to have more fun. Or it falls flat and you know not to do it again. But you don't know until you try. Don't get discouraged if your growth is slow. If you're in this and for 1 year and you don't have more than 10 viewers, that's great if you have 10 viewers. If you have 10 average viewers on your channel, you are in the top 5% of streamers, period. If you get like 40 viewers, you are within the top 1%. You are the 1% if you have like 25 average viewers on your channel. And that is that's something that I think people lose track of, especially when there are 2 million other streamers out there. But there really are 2 million other streamers out there. And if you're hitting double digits, you're doing better than a couple 100,000 of them. But the biggest thing is just focus on your own growth. Focus on community retention, on things like that. Do not try to jump immediately from affiliate to partner. It's not going to go well. You're not going to feel good. You have to go from 3 viewers to 75. And even then 75 is actually not enough for partner. And again, you can watch the partner workshop to figure out what that actually means there. Focus on you, focus on the content, focus on what you're doing. And then if that continues to grow, then you can start working on the other things after that. Just make the best channel you can do. Celebrate the things that you now have access to in as affiliate. But other than that, just keep on streaming and keep enjoying yourself on this little platform. Last chance for questions. I've gone on for 2 hours. I'm so sorry, Morag, and anybody else who's here for producing, but I figured that was a lot of stuff we wanted to cover. I wrote all this very recently, and I wanted to make sure that I was thorough on this because I wasn't really nitty-gritty with other things. And I really wanted to get in the nitty-gritty on this one because I feel like there's just not a ton of information out there, especially on Twitch's own stuff, right? Oh, man, I missed it. Can you start at the beginning? Here we go! No, but yeah, of course, you can always watch this VOD over again if you missed a section or if I went through stuff too quick. Be sure to go watch it again, right? And if you have any questions, feel free to hit people up on StreamerSquare throughout the weeks on their various shows. And if you have any questions for me specifically, I'm always available on Twitter, on Discord, things like that. You can find me via the name that you see on the screen here. Always happy to help with this. Last chance for questions. Otherwise, guys, I think we'll be hitting the road. We'll be doing more workshops like this every Wednesday. We have a new topic, and it's usually just things that people may not necessarily know about, right? And I always want to try to help people where we can. Will I be personally streaming tonight? The answer is no, Cunning Dolphin. And that's another thing. If you're not going to stream and it's on schedule, be sure to let people know so they don't come up to the stream and show up disappointed. Zeldathon's still going on, Cunning Dolphin, so I'm going to do that. Anyway, that'll do it for me, guys. Thank you so much. Next week is another workshop coming up, I believe, by Mac and Cheese. It's going to be super great. I don't know what the topic is yet, but we'll have fun with it. Enjoy, keep learning, keep trying, keep exploring, and have some fun here on Twitch, all right? We'll see you guys later. Bye!